Hey, what's up guys? I'm DJ Alex Brown and I pay to advertise on Weddingwire and The Knot. In today's video, I'm going to be comparing Weddingwire versus The Knot.
I thought you didn't like either of them.
You're right, I don't. Thank you, Ree, for clarifying for them. Yes. I really don't like Weddingwire or The Knot. Obviously, the pro of Weddingwire is that you get a free listing if you just sign up. As far as I know, there is no free tier on The Knot. Now, of course, what I'm talking about more specifically is marketing-wise, when you're paying for their advertising or you're interested in paying for their advertising, which is better. And this probably depends on your market, but personally for me, I signed up for Weddingwire and got my light or free account in 2015. And I just signed up for their marketing January of this year. So I've been on Weddingwire for about 5 years collecting reviews. For me, looking back on it, the obvious choice would be to advertise only on Weddingwire at the featured listing. You may or may not know that they no longer allow you to do just the pro tier on Weddingwire. You have to do it on Weddingwire and The Knot because they're the same company now, but they're still different websites. If you do the featured tier, you can purchase the featured tier on either Weddingwire or The Knot. You can also do both. The featured tier on one site is cheaper than paying for both sites, and also likely more manageable. Now for me, I've been building up reviews on Weddingwire primarily because I had a free account. So with those reviews already there, I am changing my structure of advertising. I reached out to my account manager and they're going to allow me to move to being just featured on Weddingwire instead of being pro on Weddingwire and being pro on The Knot. My reason for doing this is I don't have as many reviews on The Knot because I had to go back and ask clients to write me reviews. Of course, I'm starting out of wedding season, so I don't have weddings going on that I can ask people to write me a review. I have to wait another month or two until wedding season starts, which we don't even know what's going to happen with that because of the coronavirus. We don't know how long these things are going to last. So having more reviews, I personally think, is going to make people want to book with me more. Now, if you're new to both sites, then the pro level is probably going to... But if you're a cheap bastard like I am, you're probably going to want to go with featured on either site. Now, if you're new to the sites, it's not really going to matter either way. You might actually want to go with The Knot because you have less vendors typically on The Knot because they don't have that free level tier. Because I've been on Weddingwire so long, Weddingwire I believe is the right one for me. Now I have booked one wedding on Weddingwire, fully booked, and I also today got on the phone with a bride and she says, and after we got off the phone, she told me that she wanted to book with me, and I'm still waiting to get her contract signed back. It's only been a few hours, so I'm not that worried about it. I still think she's going to book, but this bride was from The Knot. So right now I'm 1 for 1 in about 2.5 months of advertising. That's not great numbers for me, and that's why I'm upgrading to being only featured on Weddingwire. Now in the coming months, I am going to detail how this works out for me. I'm glad that I have finally gotten a booking, although that booking, will the total event price pay for it? Yes, but of course there's also expenses involved on that event. I would prefer that the deposit at least cover. Now if I get a deposit for this wedding as well, I will be positive, and if I get a third wedding, I definitely will be positive as far as advertising expenses, which is good. It's still not great margins, but at this point I'll be happy with anything I can book on there because I've gotten around 40 leads, and out of those we're going to call it 2 booking. The overarching question of this video, of course, is which is better, and ultimately it's going to come down to how long you've been on each site and what you're doing. If you're advertising and you're new to the sites, you would probably want to go with featured on The Knot. Whereas if you've been on Weddingwire for a few years and been collecting reviews and getting the Couple's Choice Awards without paying for advertising, you might want to go with Weddingwire. But also if you're in that first category I mentioned with being new to both sites, then you might want to advertise at the pro level on both sites, since it's only a little bit more than advertising at the featured level on one of them. Another question that you probably don't have, but I think you should be asking is, do you think it's worth it to be only pro on one of the sites? And I'd say probably not. And here's why. With Weddingwire, if you're a pro, you're basically paying to be listed somewhere below the featured listings and above the free listings. Now, if you sit at the bottom and the free listing is charging $300 less than you, people are probably going to go for the free listing. Whereas if you're sitting at the top, and of course they do this all randomly, so it's not like you can optimize it. If you're sitting at the top, then they might see a more experienced featured person and go with them. I do think it's a little more relevant on the not to be in the pro level. However, you still have that piece where you're sitting somewhere below the featured tier. The reason that I feel that featured is better, for me at least, is because featured sits you somewhere between spotlight, which means you could even be on the first page, which you're almost guaranteed not to be with pro, and somewhere at the bottom of the featured above the pro level people. So you are going to be seen before the pro level. Of course, you lose some exposure across the two sites because you're only being seen on Weddingwire and not the not. So that is something to consider. So I would like to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it helped you. If you would like to check out the previous video that I made for last month, you can see it up in the card over here, or you can also check the link down in the description. But for now, that's going to wrap this video up. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a thumbs up, and if you have any comments or questions, please leave me a comment in the comments section below. If you'd like to see more from me on my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay up to date when I post new videos. I'll see you in the next one, but until next time, peace.